Well. We just finished having a discussion last night on Fans Club Live in regards to Trey Lance and the whole handling of that with the 49ers organization. And yeah, a couple hours later, we got what we wanted. I wanted the young man to be traded. I definitely wanted him to get a fresh start. But boy, am I sick to my stomach. Of all the teams, the one team that repulses me more than anybody else, the Dallas Cowboys. I have so many problems with this whole thing. One thing for sure, we blew this. Our GM, John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, all of these experts that get paid a lot of money to evaluate talent, you guys blew this majorly. And I'm talking about like it's embarrassing because we gave up so much draft capital to get him. And then to 2 years later, literally give up on a 23-year-old quarterback that only played in eight career games, and we have literally thrown him out and traded him. Along with him knowing our playbook, we've traded him to a rival where he can learn from Dak Prescott. Say what you will about Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is productive. He's a Pro Bowler. I don't like him, whatever, because he's a Cowboy, but I can't deny his productivity and how his stats and what he does. Um, so he gets to learn from him, no pressure. The other thing is the Cowboys have weapons. So I'm kind of interested to see how this will change in like another 2 years because I don't see Dak going anywhere. So I'm just surprised that the Cowboys are the ones that stepped up the plate and got him. And from what I'm seeing, they evaluated him as a second rounder in terms of like what they could get, the trade value for him. They gave up nothing but a fourth. So let's think about this and why I say management failed, right? John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, why they failed. You gave up a ton to move up to get him. And all we get in return is a fourth round pick. And now our quarterback room is Brock Purdy, who looked great last year. No knock on him. The truth is, he played well enough to have earned that starting spot where there was an open competition and he's the clear favorite. I was in San Francisco. I seen it firsthand. The fans love Brock. Rightfully so. Brock had a major injury. And then the other part is the NFL now has film on Brock, which means he got to produce because they now going to study and know what he likes. So it's hard to do that in the middle of the season when somebody comes in. But we talking about they've had an off season to prep for him and coming into the season. I'm wishing him that he does great. I hope he does great. Listen, I'm a Niner fan through and through, but I'm a realist at the same time. So Brock, who's stepping in now full pressure. It was a lot of pressure last year, but you were Mr. Irrelevant. You became the guy, the face of like, what people aspire to be for the NFL, like guys as late draft picks, and now you now are the franchise quarterback. I don't think Brock signed up to be the franchise quarterback, but he's now the franchise quarterback. And if he doesn't play well or if he gets hurt, Sam Darnold's the backup. So Niner fans, I need y'all to evaluate that. So y'all throwing Trey out. Y'all like, oh, Trey got to go. Trey. Okay. This is our quarterback room right now. So if you sitting here telling me you're totally comfortable with that, okay, I'll leave it at that. For me, I'm like, man, Brock now taking on a role that he definitely wasn't drafted for. Luckily, our offensive scheme is dink and dunk. He should be fine, but I have to address the fans on this. You guys have shown way more patience for Jimmy Garoppolo and his up and down with us. We won, but it wasn't because he had all these amazing stats. And you showed so much patience with Garoppolo. After 8 games, we're ready to throw a 23-year-old quarterback out? What is that about? So it's a little confusing to me. So John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, you guys got a lot of pressure on you because you know the 49er faithful do not play games when it comes to losing and things not living up to expectations of this historic franchise. But man, you guys blew this. Blew it. Like, you are the professionals that get paid a lot. And to misevaluate this type of talent that you had a Justin Fields, who I was calling for, but who am I? I'm just a fan. I know nothing. I'm calling for Justin Fields during that draft because he was safe. And he had a lot of experience. All of us knew Trey didn't have a lot of playing time under his belt. We see the potential was there, but the actual playing time wasn't there. Y'all went and said, oh, potential-wise, we could do this and do that. And then, look, 2 years later, we're now giving him away to a rival for a fourth-round pick where he can develop under Dak Prescott. He has weapons, and he knows our playbook. That's just my thought looking long-term because we don't know what can happen in 2 years. We don't know. Next thing you know, he's thrusted in the starting spot and looking like an all-star. We don't know. I don't know, man. This was a failed experiment. Like, got to do better because now you've put a guy that's a 7th-round pick to be a franchise quarterback. Is he ready to take on that kind of pressure? It's one thing coming in, filling in for, for Garoppolo or filling in for Trey and then filling in for Garoppolo and then coming in third. And there's the pressure. He doesn't have that kind of pressure because anything he does is, hey, good job. It was the last pick in the draft. That's out of the window now. You're now 49ers have said, Brock, you are the franchise quarterback. I hope he's ready to take that on. Just think about that. I don't know. I don't like the treatment of how they did Trey. I'm glad that he's getting a fresh start, but I'm just of the mindset that we were so patient with all these other quarterbacks before. Just so many other quarterbacks. And Garoppolo being the main example. He won games, but never had these great numbers. Never even threw for 30 touchdowns in a season. And yet we pass after pass after pass, 8 games, and this kid is a bust? What is that all about? And I'll tell you what it's about because I'm a Niner fan and I hear and I see the comments in the chats and on the fan boards. We like a certain kind of quarterback. A big bulk of the fan base likes a certain type of quarterback that resembles the Joe Montanas, the Steve Youngs, athletic quarterbacks, or let's call it what it is, anybody other than a white quarterback that seems like we have a problem with. Prime example, Kaepernick. We love Kaepernick when he filled in for Alex Smith where Alex Smith got hurt, but as soon as he kneeled, and that was an issue. Nothing to do with his play. Now they say, oh, it was his play. You can't say that because that last year with the kneeling, Blaine Gabbert was the starter, and Cap ended up taking over, game 6, game 7, because Gabbert was that bad. So, guys, make up your mind. This ain't the 90s. This is not that era. We can't keep holding on to old historic things, drop back passer, and that doesn't, it's a new generation. We have to embrace that quarterbacks are actually mobile. Steve Young, but we got to look and say, listen, guys, we can't just look and think we're going to hold on to the past and that's going to work. Listen, our quarterback room is Sam Darnold and Brock Purdy. We better hold on to at least 4 quarterbacks this year. We don't go into games with 3 to 4 quarterbacks. We playing with fire. Brock's elbow was surgically repaired. Hopefully, listen, we play Pittsburgh first. These teams, they're going to come after them. Got to be smart, man. I just think that if you're going to give up on a 23-year-old quarterback that you drafted number 3, that you do that and get some kind of capital. And if you trade him to anybody but the Cowboys. Niners. Let's see what happens, but somebody got to be held responsible for this. This season will be under a major, major microscope. That's my words, and that's what I have to say about it. Bang, bang, Niner gang. Let's see what happens, but listen, y'all got to restore some faith to the faithful right now, because that's a big, big blow in terms of mismanagement on that part, misevaluation, all of the misses. It's all of that. So let's see what happens.